Hello everyone, David here, doing a spotlight on a Doom mod where you can play as a dragon. The Doom mod is called Guncaster, and it's for the original Doom, Doom 2, or any of its derivatives. I'm making this video quickly for some friends that aren't too familiar with the Doom modding community. However, if you are already interested, then this is for you. If you're already very familiar with how to mod Doom, I already have the links available in the description below, and you can just go right ahead. First, to get started, you'll need three major components. You'll need GZDoom, which is an open-sourced engine to replace the original Doom engine. You'll need the Guncaster mod itself, and you'll need a legal copy of either Doom, Doom 2, TNT, or Plutona. I also have an additional mod here called Scythe 2, which just is an additional map pack. It's entirely optional. You can also add your own additional map packs of any kind that you'd like. To get started, make sure you have everything unzipped into the same folder, so the Doom WADs, the GZDoom.exe, and the Guncaster PK3 file are all in the same directory. Then just simply drag guncaster.pk3 directly onto GZDoom, and it'll pop up. For the time being, I'm just going to choose plain old Doom 2 and get started here. So up here you can see that the game starts in a really tiny windowed mode, so we'll have to go into options. There's a handful of things we'll need to configure here. First thing I'll do is change the resolution here. So I went to options, went down to video mode, selecting full screen. Just waiting for my equipment to catch up. There we go. Next thing you'll want to do is customize your controls. So, fire. Right click for casting spells. Stereocaster mode. We'll put onto R. Kick to Q. Call shopkeeper to F. Jump to space. Crouch to control. Use to E. Move forward to W. Move backward to S. Strafe left A. Strafe right to D. Most of these other keys are pretty much optional. I'm just going to double check to make sure that there's nothing weird in here. Yep, so those are your basic controls that you need to set up. Next, those of us that are modern gamers will most undoubtedly desperately want to put this into using the mouse and keyboard. So I'm just going to change the enable mouse cursor menus to yes, just for convenience. And turn on always mouse look. That way you can move the mouse around without having to hold down a special key. I also recommend turning off look spring. It'll drive you crazy. It'll keep trying to recenter your view to the middle of the screen. Most of the rest of this is just other interesting options. There's gameplay options, all sorts of interesting things. You can also really crank up the graphics settings if you go into the graphics settings under display options and then OpenGL options. There is a lot in here. I'm not going to cover that just because I can be here half an hour just showing all the different toggles you can do. However, if you feel adventurous, go at it. If you find you've completely crippled the game, you can always just delete the INI file that got generated in the folder. There's also here Be Dragons, which has special options. So there's loot options right here. So if hammer space backpack, it'll keep increasing in size. Money sharing, if you're in cooperative, if you share the money you hoard. Key sharing, same thing, just shares the keys that you picked up, and so forth. You can just go through these, they're all self-descriptive. You can set armor restrictions, shootable dynamite, all sorts of interesting options in here. So I'm just going to get started with this. So now that I have look spring and mouse look enabled, I can look around freely. So, what's special about Guncaster? Well, you play as a dragon. There's a whole bunch of different components to this mod. First of all, there's the ability to cast spells, there's gun mods, there's the ability to kick and perform maneuvers, you can fly to a certain degree, you can even get upgrades to fly farther. There's just a myriad of things here. I'll also include a video to another YouTuber that shows this mod off far better. This is more of a beginner's level mod, just so that people can understand how to get started with all these kind of actions. There's so many mods out there for Doom that you can cross and mix match that is overwhelming. So this is more or less for the beginners out there. So, to get started, I'm just gonna run through a couple of maps here and just show off what I can. So I've reached fire there by right-clicking. It's one of my default spells. Also, there's some money that they drop. The gold you collect, you can use to go towards buying new spells, or for upgrading certain equipment, or even buying equipment. I saw earlier I picked up a floating tablet, so if I press F to go into the store, one of these I unlocked. Ah, here we go. Flame Wave. So I'm just going to click on that to enable it. Oh yeah, if you press the plus key once, you'll get a nice better HUD here that you can see what's going on. Red bar is your health, green bar is your armor, blue bar is your mana. So if I cast a spell, the mana will go down. In the top left corner is all your ammo reserves, bottom right corner shows your gold and your current clip. What I do is I just float for a second. So to fly, you just keep jumping. If the first thought you have is, dang, you can cheat a lot of the map by flying around, yes, you can. But there are some modern mad packs out there that anticipate the ability that you can jump around, however, not very many expect you to fly. So that's my new spell, that Flame Wave I picked up. So this is one of the more interesting ones. Instead of a double barrel shotgun, this is a octo shotgun, 8 bullets. It is ridiculously powerful, but also difficult to shoot because it throws you backwards. If you're thinking this mod is a little overpowered, it definitely is. You'll want to really crank up the difficulty on the maps. I'll try showing off another component here. So here's your spells again. I'm going to press the right strafe key to go to the next menu. These are your Stratocasters. They provide different mods to your weapons. So for example, where's Guncaster? Oh, okay, Longhorn. So Longhorn fires full piercing shots. Strucker goes full auto. So if you turn on the Strucker, it'll go full auto on you. It'll just keep firing for you. Iron Blast can cause weapon to With a Vengeful Spirit, right. This one allows you to drop your weapon and it'll actually attack enemies for you. That one's actually sounds the most interesting. However, I don't have enough gold for that. I'm not too sure if the standard cheats will actually work with this mod to give me unlimited gold. There's also a ton of different pickups you can get. So, for example, this is the one I was thinking of, the Guncaster capsule. You just go through your inventory using the left and right bracket keys, unless you rebind them. Press enter to activate it. Guncaster allows you to hold 2 weapons in either hand, well, either paw, and go wild by firing at unlimited ammo for a short period of time. Also, I should quickly show you that you do actually have claws here too, but you mostly punch and kick. Oh yes, one other thing. Shoot a barrel, enemies blow up to death. Let's see what happens if I type the good old-fashioned IDKFA. Does it give me unlimited gold? It gave me unlimited gold. Fantastic. So let's try this dude out. So earlier I bound this to R. I am not quite seeing what I'm doing here. Yeah, let's take a look at that setting again. So, oh, I accidentally turned on Iron Blast. I want to turn on the one that Sire guy. Base nuke. Autofire. Piercing. Blotto. I'll double check my setting then. Yep, R to toggle. Let's find out the next one Okay, so this one seems to actually be doing is if I hold down the fire key, I rapid fire. Let's try a different one then. Well, it's clearly going between those two modes. Not entirely sure why it's not changing our modes here. Okay, let's give this a try. I'm clearly making a mistake somewhere here. Because the only one I keep turning on is autofire. Let's see here. Sorry all, I thought I had that part figured out. I'm partially wondering if, since I typed in IDKFA, it's trying to use all of these at the same time. Ah, yes, you can have more than one on. I had them all turned on at the same time. That's hilarious. Okay, let's try this now. Oops. No, it's still doing autofire, even though that's not the one I have to have turned on. Iron Blast. Cause your weapon to have Vengeful Spirit to make it autonomously fight on your side. Well, it sounds like I have a glitch going on here, because the instructions tell me precisely what I'm doing and if I'm doing it, but that's something we can figure out another time. Any case, there's all sorts of crazy different weapons in this. So here's the chaingun, TNT, bolter, equivalent of the plasma rifle. This wonderful beast. As you can figure, this is our BFG. And now that I have it unlocked, I can fly for quite a while. So you can pick up spells, Starocasters, everything as pickups randomly on the ground. We haven't actually come across very many of them yet, but they do appear on the ground, and you can just have at it with various things. Remember how I was talking about cheating earlier? This is one of those maps you can cheat really badly on, because I could just fly away like this. By the way, I'm invisible at the moment. You can tell by the top right corner how it shows the blue waves over the Draggy face. Oops, I did forget to get the keycard though. So one last thing I'll quickly show is using the additional mod packs. So I'm going to quickly quit out of here. So to use the additional mod pack, it's pretty straightforward. Just make sure you click on Guncaster, control click on Scythe 2, and drag them both in together on GZDoom. Even though it has the normal selection here for Doom 2, just choose plain old Doom 2, let it launch, and new map pack. As you can tell, I should have gone that way, but I just flew up there. Also, I should make mention that you can turn up the brightness in this game. I'll show you momentarily here. So, to turn up brightness, options, display mode options, or sorry, display options. You can turn up the gamma right here, so gamma correction. However, you can also go into your GL options, I believe it is. I believe it's under preferences. Yeah, and then sector light mode, you can set to bright. Makes things a little easier to see what's going on. Here we go, I got the Guncaster. So I can actually show this off. So bracket keys, you go back and forth between your items. This one's Berserk, this one's or this one, the red one's normal Berserk, the purple one is Gunzerk. If you're wondering where that name came from, yes, it is Gunzerker from Borderlands. Gunzerk is really fun. Ah, right, that's where it is. In any case, I'll leave you all with that. Best of luck and hope you enjoy.